Hello, welcome to week 3 of 6 of my videos about stress. Last week we looked at the fight, flight, freeze response. And I asked you to make a list of the things that cause you stress. We're going to come back to that list at the end. So in order to discuss today health conditions, let's look at first what happens to our bodies when we're in the fight, flight, freeze response. When you're faced with danger or a stressful situation, our heart will start to beat faster. We will start to take short, shallow breaths. You'll get a rush of blood to your brain and your pupils will dilate. Your toes and your fingers may go cold. You may get a churning stomach or butterflies in your stomach. Your mouth may go dry. Now, the reason all these things happen is in order for us to respond. But basically, our heart is beating faster to send the blood, the extra oxygenated blood, around the body to the muscle groups where it's needed for us to respond quickly. The flow of blood to the head is to enable us to think more clearly. Our pupils dilated helps us to see clearly. When we're in the fight, flight, freeze response, the blood comes away from the extremities, hence your cold hands and feet, because the blood is needed elsewhere. The churning stomach and the dry mouth is because both of those are part of the digestive system. And when you're in your fight, flight, freeze response, you don't need to be thinking about food. However, over time, what can happen is we can start to develop digestive issues. We can start to have headaches when we're stressed because we've got that flow of blood that hasn't had a chance. We haven't had that opportunity to relax and to let our body recover from being in that mode. We can get eye strain from being in that. Achy limbs, muscle cramps because of the increase in blood flow to the main muscle groups, but also because we get that buildup of lactic acid that we haven't had an opportunity to disperse. Longer term, we can get heart problems. We can get diabetes because there's an increase in glucose to feed the process, to allow it to take place and to keep us going for longer. So you can see that over time, being in the fight, flight, freeze response is not necessarily good for our bodies. Next week, we're going to talk about how relaxation can actually help us in those situations and cushion us against the effects of stress. However, what I'd like you to do between now and then is to take the list of the things that cause you stress and start to think and be very honest about those items on that list. Think about, can you do something about that? Or can you not? Is it a stressor that is out of your control? Start to go through the list and put them into 2 columns. Things you can do something about and things you can't. Be really honest, because there could be things on that list of items that you can do something about, but actually at this moment in time you choose not to. And that's absolutely fine. We have to be right. It has to be the right time for us to do something about some of those items on that list. So for the moment, I'd just like you to look at each item on that list and separate them into the 2 columns. Things you can do something about and things you can't. Next week, we'll look at relaxation. I'll lead you through a gentle relaxation and I'll talk about how we can't physically be relaxed and stressed at the same time. So take care, and I look forward to seeing you all next week.